I hate my ego and how to dissolve it. When the ego is very unhelpful to the reality, the ego that wants to avoid everything or fight everything around it, yeah, it gets tired from itself, from its own uh, resistance. So I hate my ego and how to dissolve it. So does dissolving means will it go somewhere or it will just disappear, and what will be left there? So where did this the ego come from that we are trying to dissolve it? Are we sending it back where it belonged to? See, when the person say that I hate my ego, it's a very self uh, destructive statement. Yeah, I hate my ego, and it is helpful when you say how to dissolve it. So dissolving the ego is better than living with the ego that you hate. Hating the ego simply means hating the self, the you are self. So it's not the ego you hate that you say, I hate my ego. It's you hate your own self. Who is the one saying that I hate my ego? The ego itself hates its own self. It's just disconnected maybe from everything. It is just doesn't like anything much, or maybe it feels lonely, or maybe it feels sad, or it wants power, so it is confused always. Yeah, the ego, according to how it is programmed. Maybe it was traumatized, it was abused, bullied. So we can train it to become the best, but it is not appropriate way, because it is still an illusion. So it is the on the superficial level you can train the ego, and you can become the best of you, the best ego, the best self. But it is a process of time again, and in which time doesn't exist really. So that has no end. Yeah. So it happens to most people that uh, they are always wanting to reach somewhere, and when they do reach, still something is missing. So as long as you are alive, there's gonna be a problem with your ego. So you will say, I want to improve it. So the improvement is a coming from the society perception. Yeah, so when you say the ego is lonely, as you say, I am lonely, you may have people around you, but you may still feel lonely. And when it doesn't have a lot, it can get a lot, but still it may feel like something is missing. You can work on it on a superficial level, but it will always always feel that emptiness, because what you're doing is exercising the thought, the I as a thought. So using the instrument to achieve something imaginary, as you think that you exist mentally, but what you doing is exercising the thought I and giving it everything it wants, and the one who's doing it not realizing that it has no end, and it is just fooling its own self. So it's exactly how when the past come, the future come, the now is, and the misery starts. So training it, not the best solution, never ever, because it is always in the time. So it's gonna be always in this when I will get there, and it has no end. And even if it has end, when it's not really, but still it is an illusion. So what is an illusion? It is the one that thinks that I can train it, I can become the most powerful person, or I can become the best ego, the most attractive person. And it's okay. It's okay to become, but what is even becoming? Becoming the time that one day I will get. So you can stay away from the truth for a moment, for a day, but eventually you will come to the point where you say, I want the truth. I want the real truth and what I'm real. Huh? Uh, you are not the thoughts you get. You can choose them, you can train your thoughts, but ultimately you are a slave of the thoughts. You are not them at all. The fears inside you, they are operating and making you run. And when you hold, when you come back to now in the moment here, and when we can go back to the question how to dissolve it. So how to dissolve it, we cannot really dissolve the ego, because when we say we want to dissolve it, we are giving it more power by wanting to dissolve it, as the one who is asking itself cannot destroy its own self. So who is the one asking the question that I want to dissolve the ego? It is the ego asking that. So this loop is continuing itself. How to control the mind, how to dissolve my ego. And when the question arises, when the suffering comes, when the misery starts, if you look at it just without any reaction, without any involvement, it disappears there. So it's like it's come here, it doesn't go, but when the mind touches, it goes. When it is here, you see it goes. The next. But when the mind touches something, when the mind touch the thought, this single thought, this thought, it continues it. So even this question is born out of the ego, that how to dissolve it. But this question itself is an answer. And the answer can be anything. Maybe tragedy happens, maybe the boredom from life can take you there. When you can't call yourself anything, all you get, you can't call yourself. You cannot call yourself what you are really. And it's not that you cannot, it's just that there is no one to say, I cannot. The game has been understood, the illusion has been known. The person woke up and is gone now. But mostly people take it as a someone who is lazy or ignoring the self, but it's not that, because there should be someone to be ignored when there is no one who is there to ignore who actually. So when nothing is left there, ultimately you are everything. So the fight with you, the fight with anything won't make sense. So the suffering of the mind can be ended in the moment. But it's only when we don't involve the mind with it, when we involve it with questions like why things are like this, why that is that, why that is this. So it just increases the more problem. It gives it more power, and the power of the problems, the strength of the misery increases. So that's why you don't react. But in the moment when the the thing is that you shouldn't react, you react there, what to do then? Hmm? That I know that I'm not supposed to react. And if there is anyone who says that, and when you say I shouldn't react, you actually go and react. As you commit yourself that I'm not going to react to anything, then to react to what? To any problem you get, any situation you face. And when you commit, then in that commitment, you cannot think that there is someone in you who is committing that. You may need that, but in that not reaction, you see that everything is flowing itself, and I'm nothing really, because I'm the everything. I am everything. So the whole game will come to you when you understand everything, and everything gonna be effortless. There is no need of effort or willpower. Things just happen. It is the mind that uh, touches the things, whatever it can, and destroy it or disturb it. And if it is pure from the awareness, it can make things better. But it cannot claim that it has made everything better. So now here the higher version and the ego comes. Is spirituality about a higher version? Well, that higher version is nothing itself but a name from the thought. And people have named it, and you can even see in every religion, God or universe or whatever. But it doesn't need any name. You can still name it, as the emptiness or nothingness cannot be like accepted as nothingness for so many people. But for the sake of each other to communicate, we may still name it as people have done it. Thus, in the moment right now, that it is enlightenment or it is God state or whatever, which you can do though. You can name it. But the name doesn't have any commitment or feelings or uh, definitions. It is just the expression of the truth itself. So ultimately, it is itself nothing. So the you in you just dissolves without its own help. It can start the questions. It can look up, but In that upping, in that looking up, it goes away. It doesn't look down then. So the question that you say, how to dissolve the ego, is to look at this question without an answer, and it will go, and another question will come, and it will go again. And this is exactly what's gonna happen. Everything is coming and going. You see everything. So that seeing is what you are. But you cannot claim it as you are that from thoughts, as it will create more problems. So you see everything come and go, come and go, come and go. It's where you are dissolved. And it doesn't mean you ignore the self, you don't do things for yourself. You may still go back to the version of you live normally, but inside being awakened and aware of everything without any effort. Thank you for watching.